during this really difficult time. I do have joining me at this time Mr. Keron Rose, who is an online business educator. Keron, did I pronounce it correct?
Yeah, Keron Rose.
Keron Rose, yes, it's Keron. Keron, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Rishi, thank you for having me today.
Keron, so we understand the COVID-19 pandemic and how it's affecting people. We've seen many businesses close down, many of them struggling to stay afloat, and with the state of emergency that we're in right now and businesses can't open, we expect that it's going to continue to get a little bit worse.
Yes.
So let's talk about solutions or possible suggestions that businesses can adopt to deal with this and probably stay afloat for a period of time. You're an online business editor, so let's talk about online strategies.
Yeah. So, I mean, we all know what COVID's doing to the country, and I mean, we haven't seen anything economically this bad since the 2008 recession in the US. And if there's one thing to learn from that past crisis is that, when these things happen, there are obviously it's a shock to the system. There are people that are going to lose their jobs, they're going to lose employment, but then there's also opportunities that are born from these situations. And the COVID pandemic is no different. For me personally, since the beginning of the pandemic, the pandemic has pretty much 10x my business because of my skill set. Mm-hmm. My skill set is in demand now more than ever before, especially here in the Caribbean. With what I encourage businesses to do is what is needed now is for people to kind of unlearn what they know, and digital skills like, learning how to build websites, learning how to do selling through online, learning how to be a social media manager. There's a wide variety of skills now that are needed that are going to allow you to participate in the global economy and earn yourself foreign exchange. There are companies who are looking to outsource to people across the world that pay out in US dollars. The thing is, for now in the Caribbean, is we have to learn how to upskill and reskill and start looking towards the new skills that are relevant during the pandemic and post-pandemic.
Yeah, and you said your skill set is one that is in high demand. Before we go along, tell us a little bit about Keron Rose and his experience and the work that he's been doing.
Right. So I moved to Trinidad. This is going on my 7th year in Trinidad. And what I basically do is I started off when I moved here. I started off with a blog. I started blogging about smartphones, just educating people on how to use their smartphones in their personal lives and their business lives. That transformed into learning how to do web development, and I built my own e-commerce website, and I was actually reselling the products as well. And from there, gaining that knowledge of building Droid Island, I started to get more people coming to me, asking me, hey, who built your website? Hey, who's doing your marketing? Hey, how can I get paid online? How can I do drop shipping? How can I do affiliate marketing? Just a wide variety of things that I was involved in. And when the questions started to become more about how to build a business, I made that shift back in 2018 to teach people how to go about transforming their businesses. If it's a brick and mortar business or if they have a service-related business, I started teaching people how to take that business online and what are the other different products and services that they can offer within their niche, all through digital means. That way they could start to service the national community and also extend that business across the region and take it international, because with digital, there is no borders to you providing a product or service once you have the right pieces of infrastructure in place.
Yeah, and I think it's very important for people to understand this, especially people who may not be tech savvy and who may not be in line with all of the technological advances in recent time that could help them stay alive. Because we've seen businesses go to online during the pandemic. We've seen some businesses just opt to close down because they probably didn't have the means to do it. So let's create a listicle. Can we do that in terms of how to start, first of all?
Yeah, we can. The thing is that again, I've only been in Trinidad a short time. 7 years is a short time, and it was only really until 2016 where companies like Flow, Digicel, B-Mobile started to upgrade their network infrastructure and offer something called 4G, fiber to the home, where now we have, a heck of a lot better services. We have better services and faster speeds than we did pre-2016. This allows more people to be able to do more things online. So the pieces are there. We have companies like First Atlantic Commerce, WePay is a big one, companies like SocialPay. Companies like this give us the infrastructure to get paid online. And depending on which party you are in your business, it doesn't, if you're signing up with something like a WePay or SocialPay, those services are free to sign up with, and you could start executing your service online or getting paid online. It's just about, do you have the required knowledge needed to take your business online, and what can you bring online?
Yeah. Okay, so say, for example, I have a business. I have a clothing store. I have a clothing store that I normally sell on High Street in San Fernando.
Right.
What can I do then to get my business online? What are my requirements? What do I need to put in place to say, well, I can't have my physical store open, but I have an online store now, and this is what I'm doing. So how do I get from a physical store, a physical clothing store we'll use as the example, to an online store?
Perfect. Great example. So let's just say, and I kind of did an example on this yesterday on my page. Let's say you have that clothing store and you don't have a website. You might not have the money to go out and build one or have the time to go out and build one. Here's something you could do right now as you're listening to this call. You have this clothing store, you have Instagram, you have Facebook. You already have a bit of an audience. You're using these platforms to post your product. You could go onto socialpaytt.com right now with your business, register an account with SocialPay, and you can use a feature called Pay Links. That's Paylinks. Pay Links. What you could then do is your products that you have there, list all of your products as a pay link, and then you can post those pay links onto your social media platform. So if somebody sees if someone sees a t-shirt on your Instagram, right, they can click your link in bio. They can then search for which item that they want to purchase from you, click on the item, and a payment form opens up, and they could then put in their credit card, or if you have one of the new Visa debit cards from any one of the banks. All of the banks have rolled out the new Visa debit cards. All of them are able to access local online e-commerce. People could then pay you online. So if you have a clothing store or you have a soap store, anything right now, jump on SocialPay TT, register your account, use the pay links, create a listing of products, assign your values to it. That way, when you post your links on social media, people can see the product, click on the link, and they can pay you. And then you have logistics partners like there's one called Sped TT that I use, SPEDTT. I use that. I create a request on their website. They send a driver to come to my house. They pick up the items, and then they deliver it anywhere within Trinidad and Tobago, or you could use a service like Deliver Me TT that, again, they come to your house, they collect the goods, and they deliver it. So I operate my business all from my house. I bring in the products from my suppliers, the smartphones. I don't have to leave my house. And to run my online business costs me $5 US a month because I've learned how to do drop shipping and sell online.
Yeah, and so it sounds simple enough for people to do it. So probably if people are listening who have little businesses and that kind of thing, and they want to be able to get their business online, and you may not know what to do, I'm sure you could go do some research and some reading, but I thought it was important to share this information this morning, Keron, because people don't know and they're unaware that they can use these various mediums to get their business out. Tell me something. So you've been working with clients in Trinidad and Tobago. I know you're an online editor, so you've been working with people?
Yeah, so my business hasn't stopped. I have my clientele in Trinidad. I have my clientele in Jamaica, Barbados. My clientele is really throughout the region and back in Canada and the U.S. And again, the beautiful thing is when your business is online, if you're a service provider or if you're selling a product, once your business is online, there is no barriers to entry. There is no barrier. You're not limited by geography. You can sell to anybody in the world once you have the right pieces in place. And if you are somebody that has a business right now, again, once you have these digital pieces, your business isn't shut down right now. There are still aspects that you can do, even if you're somebody that has a restaurant and you guys are cooking. Now might be a good time to start opening up an online cooking store, doing something like ebooks. There are aspects that you guys can start to do right now to generate money. And even if it's not replacing the lion's share of your money, it's still another added revenue stream that you guys can start to bring in right now.
Yeah, so a lot of things that people can look at. Keron, thank you so very much for joining us this morning, sharing what I think is very important information for our business sector in Trinidad and Tobago, especially the small and struggling businesses, given what is happening in not just in Trinidad, but around the world.
I'll add this before I go. Right now, even if you're not a business owner, I encourage everybody who at least wants to add an additional revenue stream, go on Google. I want you guys to Google high income skills for 2021. You're going to see a laundry list of digital skills. There are platforms like Facebook Blueprint, Google Digital Garage, HubSpot Academy, Skillshare. There are places where you can learn new skills right now for free. And because we're in lockdown, you might be out of work. You might have the time to do it. Go learn one of these new skills and start to at least be able to generate a side income for you right now, because you never know, in a couple of months, that might be able to replace your full income altogether.
Yeah, some excellent advice. I remember at the start of the pandemic, I wanted to expand my knowledge base as well. So I went on to Coursera and I did some of the online courses there as well. There are free courses that they offer there. So I understand very much where you're coming from, and so it's excellent advice. Thank you very much, Keron, once again for being part of the show.
Thank you for having me, Rishi.
Keron.
Good morning, Rishi.
Morning, Brian Big.
I must say I enjoyed that interview.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
Thank you very much.
The gentleman was very edifying this morning.
So are you going to